So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are with Division A Day 4. And well, 4 is that magic number because this is the fourth series coming our way. We got USC on one side, we got HAU on the other. Dax here with the amazing, incredible Chris Ray. There she is, looking pretty stellar. But Chris Ray, come on, let's just keep this simple without looking at the teams first and foremost. It's a 3-0 on one side. It's a 0 to
Mhm.
3 on the other. So let's play that guessing game. Who might have the advantage here? Looking just at the records alone.
Um, I'm gonna say HAU has the advantage here. I just feel like they have been constantly improving every game, and they're just on a roll here with that 3-0. What do you have to say, Dex?
It's just been stellar. Come on, that victory over LG Esports showing truly how strong they can be. And I know the Holy Angel University fan base, they make a lot of noise. They believe in the believers. And now there are so many believers on the talent side, so many believers because of that 3-0 standing that they are at the very top. And you made that good point because every single game and every single season, they just get better. But on the flip side, it hasn't been the best day at the office, the best weeks at the office here for USC. Because if you remember from season 2, right, they were at the very top, and now it's been a struggle. But what do you think in this case for USC? What's the way for them to bounce on back with this newer roster? What's the feeling here for USC?
Well, USC last season were known to be at the very top, but it looks like this season has brought them to 0-3. So it's looking really tough for me. I think as long as they have really good communication and good team synergy and believe in one another, they could definitely push through, maybe get a 1-3 from this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a tough ask, but you make a good point because when you look at USC and this relatively newer roster compared to before, they don't have Farside Jin anymore playing out in these times, especially from what I know. I think he's playing in a different tournament right now for his pro team. So they do need to build that next generation for us, right? And that's the thing, right? We have a collegiate scene for good reason because it's not just the next generation of potential pros, but it's also the next generation that will represent every single school. And when you hear about collegiate esports, Chris, I have to ask you, what do you think first and foremost about it? Because for me, it's a good way to really support players that want to show up in an earlier manner, a way to build that foundation.
I agree with you. This is definitely like the stepping stone towards pro teams and for the long run for these players to really make a name for themselves. So, this is a perfect opportunity for each and every player to really put themselves out there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about getting that exposure. And when you represent the banner of your school, you know that you're going to get the cheers from that fan base, from your fellow schoolmates, and from, of course, many fans of the AcadArena roster. But guys, this tournament, of course, it would not be possible without our uh, amazing partners. And this, of course, is presented to you by ASUS Republic Gamers, powered by the reigning king of gaming laptops, the ROG Zephyrus S17, featuring an 11th gen Intel Core i9 CPU cooled with liquid metal and GeForce RTX 3080 GPUs. Take your gaming experience to the next level for hashtag for those who dare. Available in your nearest ASUS and ROG accredited stores nationwide. Hop on to rog.acadarena.com to check it out. And shout out to our partners as well at Logitech G. If you're looking to supercharge your gaming setup so you can hashtag keep playing, check out Logitech's amazing gaming gear at logitech.acadarena.com now. And we know our partners are incredible. We know the games are looking very, very stellar. But Chris Ray, come on. This is your first time here, and we're really, really happy to
Yes.
have you. It's just a direct question to you. How does it feel watching these collegiate teams clash against each other? Not just in the game that we're getting, but in the previous games we've had so far today.
Well, as a student in LaSalle, I want to like root for my own university too, but I'm seeing other pro players in other schools that I am a little bit acquainted with. So I'm also kind of like iffy between who do I root for here. But at the end of the day, it's all, we're all here because we enjoy Valorant together. We love the game. We love supporting these players.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like from how she streams, honestly, and if you've ever watched Chris Ray play, guys, whether in on a stream or in a different tournament, she could pop off. That's the thing. Like yesterday, I know we were I was casting something else, and then she was just playing that Sky, setting things up for pro players. Just like I see Super MJ getting some help from her. It's the guiding lights. It just goes to show that there is that passion in the PH scene not just in our streamers and community, your collegiate side and the pro side. And well, we're gonna get even more passion very, very soon between USC as well as HAU. But the fact of the matter is, in terms of math, this is gonna be very dicey here for University of San Carlos. If they lose this, they go 0-4. And while it will still be, I believe, alongside the FEU squadron, that's not a way to make it to the playoffs, and it's gonna be very, very difficult for them, especially with a roster that's trying to get in tune, as Chris Ray has mentioned. They need to build those foundations. They need to build up on that communication, and more often than not, putting yourselves in a stress level really makes it even harder. But for Valiant, let's just do the math here. Chris, if Valiant wins this, what's their record next? Let's do some simple math on screen.
Well, 4-0, right?
Right?
So they would just be
4-0.
on the top of their seed here.
Yeah, that's the thing. And with a 4-0, they're just one away from making that perfect record. And basically, how the tables have turned. Because you mentioned it a while ago, right? That USC, they were at the top. They were into the playoffs basically. And Valiant, yes, they're a very strong group stage team, but they haven't gotten that full success into the playoffs as of yet. And do you think that if HAU can perfect that group stage, would they have a chance now to make it all the way to the finals?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the amount of wins they have with a 4-0, their confidence would be at the very top. They would feel like this is a breeze, and I definitely think that they would show through that confidence in the game.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we're not going on to Breeze here, Chris, because we're getting split yet again. And I know you cast it a while ago, but I do have to ask you, any thoughts about Split itself as a map, as we're getting some agents selected here?
All right, whenever I get split in my games, I already know there's going to be a Raze playing, and I know everyone's going to be holding either Heaven with a shotgun, but then once again, the elo that I play in is Black Golds. I don't know how these players will play it. I definitely think I'm looking at Raze. Like I said, they will be playing a Raze, and I see on HAU they have a Sage, very essential for mid and just for holding down a site.
Yeah, and then we have the Astra as well, but on the flip side, USC, they know they're at the brink of basically going down even lower, so might as well try something a bit different, and they will forgo that essential
Choose your
sage and go
agent.
for something a little bit different. The KO gonna be into play, and when you have a KO on split, how effective is it compared to like something like the Sova? Because it seems like KO really suits the angles of attack and defense on a map like this.
That's true. KO can definitely just throw his flash and initiate for his team in order to get into the site. I also see Raze and Jet, so they would easily be able to get into the site, A or B. So this might be a very interesting lineup. And I'm very excited to see how they're going to play this game.
Well, it's time for us to answer that question, and it's time for us to get into the matchup. You got the Portal Warriors on one side looking to get their first win on the board, and you got Valiant Esports on the other to keep their spotless record absolutely shining. Valiant already winning some hearts after that victory versus LG. USC, in the meantime, their hearts have been broken multiple times here, but we'll see now if they can get reparations, they can get some tape on, and figure things out. On HAU, though, we got Kyrie, Groovy, Kale, Blast, as well as Prophecy. On the flip side, we got Mike, Kaiju, Fugly, Akuma, as well as Aroma. And with double duelist versus double duelist, what might be the contention point here, Chris? Because it seems like it's a standard really in the collegiate scene. Is it all just about out-fragging the other in this scenario?
I don't really think it's out fragging. As a duelist, your main role is really to get into the site and make sure to clear the space. So even if you do die, you have to hope that your teammates get your trade in order for your role to really be fulfilled in a way.
And we're just waiting now to get on started, and here we have it. All about, at the very least, doing your duty, playing the entry. Don't need to get kills. You just need to make some space in such a narrow map. And already we got HAU looking for that mid control. Michael in the meantime playing with the ropes. But here we have it. Akuma with the kill on the blast. Kale in the meantime will be able to get the refrag. But it seems like here for USC, they're scrambling a little bit away from what HAU wants to do. And what do you think about this call? I think it's a little too early, and Prophecy already exposing his hand. Might be a chance here for Holy Angel University to get in position as Prophecy peaks a little bit. And yeah, this rotation kind of hurting USC position, and they're trying to hold the line with Groovy right now with a takedown onto Kaiju, and onto the site they go. It's Valiant Esports putting that spike down, and how will USC retake this one, Chris?
It's looking kind of tough right here. It's a 2v4 plus screens as well. KO is out of all of his utilities
Last
as
player
well.
standing.
And Akuma only is on heaven by themselves with a Sasha left to their name. I have no idea how they're going to play this.
Well, now we know nothing's gonna happen as prophecy with a beautiful tap there, getting the takedown, and we relied on the flights. You gotta look at the Valiant side though. This is how they play. There's just so much camaraderie in this team. They're like fist bump, fist bump, fist bump, virtual fist bump, and it just seems like there's a lot of teamwork for this roster right now. And by this point, Portal Warriors, we've seen how they're trying to grow as a unit. But what do you think has to be the edge that they have to bring here? Do you feel like for the Warriors right now, they have to outplay Valiant Esports as a team, or can they just outmaneuver themselves individually? What's the call here for USC?
I definitely think they have to find a way to outplay because, like you said, Valiant Esports, they're communicating with one another. They know what they're doing. So they have to be able to read what their plays are and try to find a way to counter that exactly.
And that's the thing. It's all about figuring out what's going on. And Kale, he's trying to get that intel. Aroma, though, that's a shorty.
Placing swamp
And
grenade.
shorty plus corners
Swamp
equals...
grenade out.
Yeah, that's... How many times have you gotten shorty on this map, Chris? Like, let's be real.
Several times. I just cannot deal with this map and shotguns.
Placing swamp
Well,
grenade.
maybe
Swamp
Kale
grenade
here.
out.
Oh, that's one way to deal with. Now the Swarm there's a dash on in, but Kamikaze! It's not enough for Aroma. That's gonna be Kale getting the takedown. Kyrie on the board as well. Good gun advantage here for Valiant Esports. And as the spike's planted, we got Kyrie here. Keep peeking.
One
And
enemy
gets the
remaining.
kills. There's the first one. The
Flawless.
second one will get sprayed down. And a flawless win. So 2-0. But the bounce back is true. And when you get into the third round and you finally get your guns, what's the mentality of getting back in the groove here, Chris? Because USC, they need to find that mentality and fast if they want
Yeah.
to succeed.
Well, they should be a little more confident here because they know they are up on guns, but it looks like two of their players are half bot or don't have full shields here. They will be defending, so as long as they can hold their ground and play with one another, play for info, they could definitely come back from this.
Yeah, might as well, at the very least, figure out what's going on, try to bait their teammates, and instead go for those successful trades. But Prophecy already, Cloudburst, but Nebulous will be in the way. Thing is, though, Portal Warriors, I'm interested right now, Chris, because we see the KO, we see the Astra, but we haven't seen as much utility as we would like here for Portal Warriors, right?
That is true. Well, we can see the Killjoy is setting up on B, but maybe they just really want to play this slow and wait. Oh, there goes the flash from the KO towards mid. Although they do not follow that flash up, they could have gotten a kill from one of the two pushing there. Pre-firing the smoke, but already rotating into vents, giving up mid only for Raze to watch it all on her own.
Enemy
A lot of
removed.
space and Groovy right now with a dance to Akuma. A little interesting for Portal Warriors because that could have been a chance, as you mentioned. They got the flash on, but no one really capitalizing on it. But this time it's capitalization from the Killjoy instead. Folk, they could be able to get to their Prophecy in the meantime, catching out that Sentinel.
30
But as
seconds
Aroma
left.
watches for things, here we have it yet again. Spike being planted.
Spike
Valiant
planted.
Esports in position. Aroma though with that takedown. And it's 3v2 for now.
One enemy
Mike
remaining.
though, still up top. And everything is left to Blast, who's just out in the open. Portal Warriors! They get the direct combat that they need, and apparently, that's the answer there, Chris. Just fight till
Exactly.
everyone that dies.
And that was definitely an essential round for them because they all did full buy, and it's good that they ended with three agents still left alive. I really liked the way the KO and the Astra retook the site while Jet was on site, and they were able to secure that win for that round.
And just, it seems like they had the angles, and for some reason, Valiant Esports just out in the open. Mistakes like that can really cost them in situations like this, as USC is still trying to build that communication, as you mentioned. And case in point there are opportunities that Portal Warriors did not really take that they could have, and they now found the opportunities set up by Valiant Esports instead. So we'll see here if Holy Angel University can clean up their gameplay from this point onwards and make sure that they're not going to get caught out in the open just like that. USC, they're 0-3, but they still are fine shots. But Kyrie right now, even more fine than that. Aroma, his smell is going to be something stinky as he has fallen. And a quick rotation here from Mr. Roboto, but Mike!
Spike
Simple
down
name,
A.
simple game. And a flash right now to back on out.
Ooh.
He finds that kill, and seems like Chris, they're going for the A side. Can Kaiju actually hold anything down here?
And Kaiju goes down with that jet. They have taken sight.
Dashes though, and Akuma with the judge!
Oh, the judge. Another shotgun play.
You mentioned it before, you know, shotguns and split, they go hand in hand. But I just want the divorce to happen very, very
Player
soon.
standing.
Just stop the shotguns. And here we have it, Kyrie right now with a shot onto Akuma. We do have the Killjoy though. Up, we having that Spectre in hand. Kyrie though gonna get torn on the part, and as he tries to disengage, it's Valent Esports taking advantage. Now, I do have to put this question out. For Portal Warriors, there are many times where they decide to disengage rather than engage. But it feels like there's that opportunity, and what's the general consensus on that? Because sometimes it feels like you just have to risk it for the biscuit, right? You just have to go for it to get the kills
That's
that you need.
true. That is true. I also noticed in part of the game, the KO gave up mid and was fighting the agent down on A ramps, although 2 were already mid and he just left that completely open. Imagine if he would have known that 2 were already mid, he might have opened up more space for his team to just hold their ground there.
Yeah, just a matter of discipline by this point. And for USC, they're looking to build it up step by step, round by round. The problem here, Chris, is because it's a trial by fire. All of these rounds matter. They're official matches. They're here for the collegiate circuits. And 0-3 can become 0-4 if they don't get that act cleaned up as soon as possible. But there's still always a hope. There's always a prayer. And here in the lead scene of the UAC, anything and everything can happen. So if you believe the Portal Warriors, make sure your voices are heard. Valent Esports, though, in the meantime, at the very least, stationing up in the mid control yet again. And this has been successful for them. So many rounds. Why so?
I guess that they just take mid control really well, and based from how Portal Warriors have been defending this, they would just give up mid. Plus, they don't have a Sage to just wall mid, so they probably saw this as an opportunity to just take mid every time.
Actually, it's a really good point because you're expecting that KO to go for the flash peaks, to go for the...
30
Why are
seconds
they
left.
rotating?
Oh no,
why
I believe there was a fake smoke towards A, and they all fell for it, and now they have complete control of B side, while the entire defenders are over at A.
Planted.
The bamboozle. This is a mirage in front of us, and apparently the Portal Warriors, they tried to move on around somewhere else, but the teleportation relocation is not going to be effective. And Kyrie with a hold in the mid. You mentioned it a while ago that mid control is something HAU can take advantage of without that Sage on the other side. And case in point, we see it yet again. Spikes planted. The guns are not ready here for Portal Warriors. And while we get killed, Blast getting on the board. Everything is now left to Kaiju. But Prophecy comes from above. And it's a flawless win for Valent Esports. Well, I gotta ask you, it's a bit of an embarrassing question, but I'll answer first. You know, I've actually fallen for that once before. That
Yeah.
I see utility and I'm like, let's rotate, and apparently it's not there. How about you? Has that ever happened to you, especially
All
on
the
stream?
time.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Whenever I'm queuing with my friends, I'm always the first one to rotate. I'm like, okay, I'm rotating. I'm going. They're like, no, stay. Hold your ground. You don't know. They're not coming in yet. Just stay. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
I'll go back.
And
I guess
come
they
on.
should have.
Come on, yeah.
I guess they should have listened to one another's comms there.
That's the thing. That communication needs to be built up even more here by USC. But that's the thing, right? As people who watch this game quite a lot, USC
down
find
A.
the fragments that they need to get the kills for themselves. The firing ranges, it does become 4v2. I was just about to ask, you know, for casters like us, maybe we should know better seeing both sides of the map. But it's a little bit difficult when you only have one side of the information. But right now, it's a telltale sign that Portal Warriors has a chance. When they get these quick kills, that's when they can succeed. And that's when their rotation can actually pan on that. Because we see it here, 3 stack on A side, Spike is dropped there. And do you think this is a good formation right now for USC?
I really do think there's 3A. They know where the spike is exactly. Jet was also over at mid, just seeing maybe they are rotating or could catch someone off guard.
Last
But
player
right now,
standing.
just watching the spike is
Spike down
perfect
A.
here.
Oh, but Kyrie gonna be able to
Oh,
get to.
well.
And oh, there's the flights, but Akuma playing it safe and sound. And you expect him to be out in the middle. But Kyrie, unfortunately, could not handle that extra coverage. And it will still be for the Warriors getting that victory. HAU, when they slip up, it's just so quick. And I think that's one of the best points Portal Warriors right now has shown us. It's when they have the shots and they have the sight lines. That's when they succeed, right?
Definitely. From there, they knew where the spike was exactly, so they just had to watch it. Plus, they were up by several numbers. We can see they currently have 2 players who do not have full buys here. Let's see if they can still win this, though.
Yeah, well, the Blade Storm is ready, and there is still a chance when you have that ultimate on the Jet, and when you're playing that hard carry. Well, for the Portal Warriors, that might be something they can rely on, but maybe these rounds are building themselves discipline, just building themselves determination. And right now, you see the determination unfolding with Aroma. Sweet flower for him, as Kyrie will be the first one to become fertilized. The question is, though, do it get a bouquet from Aroma? Or will it just be a wilted rose here? Still 5v4 though, and what do you think about the situation right now? HAU scrambling for mid control again.
All right. Well,
You
as long
will
as
not
USC
kill
can
my
each
ally.
hold, not over rotate or anything, I believe they can hold their sight down. Plus, the Jets'
Oh no!
knives are still up. Oh.
What the fuck? Erased from existence! And that showstopper denied. Aroma tried to fly on by, but Prophecy knows that game. And it's suddenly 4v3. Cosmic Divide, though, gonna be the call. This is interesting here for Portal Warriors because, yes, it protects the B site, but now, Kaiju, you're supposed to be the big bad Godzilla
30
here.
seconds
You're
left.
looking at your name. But what's happening instead is you're getting swarmed. And
Taking that
do you
back.
want to lead the prayer circle for Kaiju here, Chris? Or do you want me to do it as...
Oh, unlucky. Well, the thing with the Astra ulti is that they cannot hear their footsteps stomping through CT to run over to A.
No intel and just too many numbers. It was a heroic effort. It was martyrdom there for our poor
Definitely.
Astra, but we don't we don't award martyrdom awards here. There's no crucifixions fictions whatsoever. It's Valiant Esports. They're already
Out
in
of
position,
charges.
and Portal Warriors trying to play the retake from the screens they come. Buckley and Mike trying to make something work, but time is ticking, and
Last
this
player
position from
standing.
Valiant Esports looking so potent so far. And there you go. Valiant now
Bomb
getting the
grenade
final
out.
2 kills. Makes it 5-2. And a good rotation yet again. It seems like when Valiant rotates, they have a clear understanding on the map here, Chris.
That's true. Exactly. They have the perfect columns. They know when to play together. They're waiting for their teammates to group up. They call in for that Astra ulti, and they completely take CT, getting the kill on A's side and securing that win.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Just we're determining right now how effective the teamwork of Valiant Esports is. And from what we see, well, that's what we get. HAU. Their community is sound,
Careful.
the building blocks are potent, and really the players have just gotten better and better every single season. So if we're gonna get peak Valiants, then a victory here over USC will be continuing that trend. But the Portal Warriors, they just need to find those chances. And if they're not gonna be making it themselves, then they're gonna look to punish the mistakes that each
I
AU
can't use
can
that.
make. But those are few and far between, and we have the pieces right now thrown on over. This time, though, what do you think about the setup for the Warriors? Because it seems like they're contending with the middle because they know they don't have that Sage in their lineup.
Exactly. I definitely like the way the raise through a nade. It definitely delays their play here. Although they were able to get
Player
that pick,
standing.
several picks.
There you go, HAU getting the takedowns that they need. Portal Warriors now left with Kaiju. And as soon as that happens, it's Kale getting the takedown 6-2 and a flawless win. Now, when we look at Split, yes, it's a defending side of the map. And even though Portal Warriors does have the Sage, they still have that Astra and the Killjoy. So my question for you is, how can Portal Warriors bounce back in terms of formation? Do you think they should change things up on the setup, or they just need to hold certain angles over other angles?
I definitely think that they could change things up. I feel like, Valiant Esports already has them read. Plus, they need to delay more towards mid and just entering the site because that's how Valiant Esports are playing. They're just taking mid, rushing it, getting the kill, and then taking site.
Well, at the very least, we'll see now for Valiant Esports if they can just go for shoot heads, rush in, and win game as their simple strat. Mike, though, simple name for simple guy, and simply put, he gets the intel onto 3. That's one thing that the KO does well on this map, though. It's just throw the knife and you figure out who's there.
Exactly, that's very true.
Blaster keeping an eye out. Flash is gonna be into play. And this nade there, tossed on over. Google in the meantime, ready with the volley, but here comes Blast with the blastbacks and more with the firework fiesta. It's not gonna be enough. Lockdown now, initiated here by Valiant. And for the Warriors, it's do or die time. What's the answer here? Fight or flight, first Ray? What's the call when you see a lockdown?
Well, they see the killjoy. I definitely think they should fly and just wait for it to go away. They have their defender killjoy on, so this gives them the advantage to just wait it out. Hopefully push the enemies away from them, maybe rotate.
But then again, HAU, the balls to stay on and fight
They
on
are
back.
confident right now.
That's when you see the lockdown, more often than not, you're just panicking, you're just running on away. But in this
That's
case,
true.
that's us HAU going for the shots, but Fugly, he will not fall here. He got the operator, took that prophecy, and he
Spike
will try to
planted.
contend in a 1v3. But look, I'm gonna be real here.
Placing
You don't get
sentry.
bonus points for controlling A and B at the same time.
That's
HAU,
true.
they want extra credit, and what's the call here, Fugly? What's the plan? Do you think that HAU is gonna push this guy to just get rid of that op?
You know, they do have a lot of money and they might just do that. I see them pushing up CT, but at the same time, they feel like they're just holding it here.
Found them.
Oh, now he knows the alarm button.
Ooh,
What a shot!
Enemy
Still the
remaining.
operator making some noise, and Fugly's not done. He's gotten 3 here, and you know what? No matter what his name says, his play has been beautiful. Was the operator? You know, he's a flower that you have to appreciate. Does get the dink onto the Astra. It's not enough to get the kill. Maybe one more shot will do it. Run away, Fugly. Run away. Run away. No.
unlucky.
He was
You
a
know,
hero.
he was a hero, and those 2 shots were great exit frags. It would have been better if he kept his operator, but now they are broke, and they were able to get that kill on him.
Sounds like a pop punk song. Broke and broken. That's the situation right now for Portal Warriors. There was that hope. There was that small glimpse.
It was, yup.
But just, I think you made that point clear because HAU, we look at that scoreline. It's 7-2. They have a lot of money, so they can just keep running in, keep trying, and eventually, if you slam your head enough onto the wall, apparently it can break. You know, people say, you know, don't do that. Don't slam your head into the wall. But HAU, they have the insurance to do so, and they can't pay those medical bills. But Blade Sun now is popped. Mike here keeping an eye out. The thing is, I like how Mike is trying to play this, but at the same time, when he takes the opportunities, he's not flashing. And when he does flash, it's not happening. So what do you think? Is this utility, I'd say, utility composition just not being used at the right level? Or is it just Valiant getting the push at the right time?
I
Last
definitely
player
think
standing.
that Mike is using it to delay the enemy team from consistently and constantly rushing into the side tier. Alright, Kaiju with the 3k with the share of clean shots to the head right there.
Getting a quick little rag, wiping those eyes off, but with only 10 HP, his dream might get denied. One big gravity well though can set things up well, picks up the Vandal, it's a Nebula instead, so you can get the rifle. Chance, hope, prayer, but are you okay there, Kaiju? Because Groovy is a smoke criminal, and a 3k there for the Sage, it's 8-2. Things are looking up here for Valiant, it's just them dominating so far, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. Valiant Esports just they know what they're doing. They're rushing into the site. They know what to clear, what angles to check, and they are dominating and planting. And then right after the plant, they're pushing out to see if they can find another one to kill just to end the round faster.
Oh, they just die, and that's just it. And with the attacking side of HAU right now, keeping it up and going for more. It's just so much confidence right now for them personified. They're hungry to keep up that scoreline. They're hungry to go for that 4-0. And for the Portal Warriors, their struggles, it's not just on the external side, but they're still trying to build themselves up as a team. And against a team that's already formed, you can see that there are those kind of problems in the scoreline. They're not done. And there's always a hope and a prayer You know what they say, Chris? It's always there's always a chance until someone reaches 13, so don't hit that surrender just yet, because the Portal Warriors are fighting back yet again in the same way they know how, waiting for opportunities for them
Spike
to come.
down A.
That is true. The game is not over until the game is over. And right now, they are up by 4.
Last player standing.
4 defenders against 1. 1 attacker left.
That's just that. Hopefully, he
Just
showed
like
up a
that.
while ago and he wrapped it
Last
up
round
pretty
in the
neatly
half.
there. Now, this is what Portal Warriors does best. If Valorant Esports gets lost in the woods, gets lost in your eyes, it does seem like that's the chance where Portal Warriors can take. And after everything is said and done, that's been the situation, right? For Portal Warriors, at least when there's an opportunity in front of them, they take it. And what's the call now? Can that work on the attacking side, or do they have to be more proactive instead?
I feel like they noticed that Killjoy is always setting up A, which made it really hard for them to take A heaven. So they might try. Looks like they're rotating back A here, though. Maybe try to get them to over-rotate once again like they did previous rounds.
We'll see though, but there's Aroma already getting that takedown. We have a blast on the board. Groovy now backing on away. And here for the side of HAU, well, the situation is clear. And they do have to be careful because Portal Warriors now is building that confidence even more. So 3 ultimates ready as well. And honestly, for USC, I don't know if you actually feel the same way, but they can just play a 5v4 retake with the ults they have here.
That's very true. A Killjoy ulti, definitely when you're defending, has a very strong and like very crucial role towards this. So they could definitely still win this round. Plus they're up by 1 agent on their team.
Operator though makes noise, and that scares off Valiant. We have the rotation yet again. USC this time, they might want to scramble as well. And the question is, do they get that intel? Does that position from the KO actually hear
left.
things? And oh, Cosmic Divide? Interesting call. And so you fool me once. That's right. Fool me once, shame on you. But fool me twice. Yeah.
Well, I guess they already fooled them twice right here. Only 1 on site, and they're here trying to retake and to get that off kill on Prophecy. This looks definitely winnable.
No, they have been tricked, but they're not done. They don't want to look like the Jester here, and you can see that they're already putting their fist on the table and going for the takedown. Who's gonna be taken down? And who needs those brains when you got that aim? Who needs to figure out what's going on? Because as soon as you get that intel, you just go in, go ham, and go for the takedowns. It's simply put. Let's be real here, Chris. What is Valorant all about? How do you win this game? How do you win this game?
Well,
You know,
I really like how they were playing together, even though they were slightly bamboozled by that Astra ulti towards A. They played together, stick together, and entered the site together in order to get trades or just to get full info of where every enemy is.
And that's the thing. We just find that intel, figure things out. Thing is, though, simply put, sometimes for Portal Warriors, the answer I was looking for is shoot head, win game. It's just it, right? It's just, okay, who cares about utility by this point? Just go in, get the takedowns, and I think right now for Portal Warriors, they do have a semblance of that because they have the KO. And when he pops that ultimate, we go from Valorant to a different kind of game instead, where all you can do is shoot head and win game anyway.
That's
So-
true. Just aim, you know, just aim.
And for the Warriors, they've proven they have that, especially the Killjoy, who has showed up there for Fugly. Aroba, though, he wants to play the entry as we get into the second half. Valiant, though, in the meantime, trying to keep an eye out. There's the hops there. Kyrie trying to, at the very least, get that intel. For the Warriors, though, we said it before, and we'll say it again, all about finding the opportunities handed to them by HAU.
All right, now we're looking at a Sage wall down mid. This is why I say Sage is very important, especially on split. It just delays the mid push, especially during a pistol round where they can't break that wall by themselves. They would need the entire team, and by then, the defenders would know that they're trying to take mid.
Yeah, we actually had the standard gameplay of Split this time. A while ago, it's like, I don't think KO builds a wall. He throws a knife and calls it a day. But right now, the KO has been knocked out by Groovy. And it's the power of the Sage from above that Red's gonna be big here if he can get all these kills. And Groovy is not done. Burn, baby, burn. This is a Disco Inferno from Groovy's bot. RIP to the Discord bot, but RIP to Portal Warriors instead. Valiant Esports, they will make it happen, and you know, Groovy, it will be missed. But Groovy himself, he don't miss Kree.
He does not miss, and we saw that with the classic. He got that 3K right there. Even Wild mid delayed and made sure that his teammates were still alive that round.
Hey, sometimes you just need that combat medic. You know what she says? Not just healer, but also... Actually, I don't know the voice line, but I tried. I'm sorry, DD. You know the voice line? I am
Wait,
not
the
just...
stage voice line is, "I'm
Yeah.
not just your healer." Goodness.
See? He does the impressions as well. Maybe that's what we want to see. I'll get some more impressions from you later on, but Groovy right now, he's impressive on this defense, and you mentioned it a while ago, but how big is this split stage wall? Because we've seen it from closed beta till today. How potent is it?
Well, a lot of players, they definitely do a stage wall split because it just delays the enemy team from getting in, and it just lets them know if they're shooting it down, they have info that there's people here, and they could either like push out of sight. See, oh, what's happening down here mid?
Well, you can do that as well. You can hop on it, but at the same time, the attacking side can get the punish, and that's exactly what happened there. Dash, quick little scurry on away from Groovy. He is playing for time because he wants that healing orb for himself. Besides that, though, for the side of Portal Warriors, they're trying to make the entries happen, but problem is, they're not really too sure where to go. They don't have all the intel that they need because their KO is gone. And, well, might as well just go on expedition here. Dora says go to 3
30 seconds
places.
left.
Here we have Portal Warriors saying we go to A site. And this map, though, might be exposed with the alarm button. Is there Akuma, though, gonna go for the push? Prophecy with a takedown onto 1, 2, and 3. He's the sheriff in these parts, and with that sheriff, he gets takedowns. Strong showing here from Valiant, and on this defense, what just works here for HAU?
That's just happened so fast. The fact that they were able to just hold their side and not push out too much, not get too greedy, just wait for the enemy team to try to take the site. Since they know they were holding it, all they had to do was just sit and wait.
Sit, wait, and be in the right position. And we saw there for Prophecy. They just make that effective sandwich, and it seems like it's Valiant Esports here bringing in their subways and bringing in their subs, but honestly, this roster right now looking so potent at playing the pinch and setting things up really, really well. It's interesting though because compared to some of the games we've seen so far today, where we saw the battles of skills and kills, in this one it just feels like it's whoever can play as a team more so, right?
Definitely. The communication is definitely key. Over-rotating is one thing that a lot of people tend to do, a lot of teams tend to do, and it can throw around.
Here we have it now though. We have Groovy up top the wall and trying to play it safe and sound. Quick little heal right now. Groovy gonna be at least keeping an eye out on his raise. And Akuma, he wants to keep an eye out for that B site, and he's ready to prime those pain shells. Portal Warriors though relocating themselves to A. This time will it work? This time can they get the frags? But Prophecy! That's a painful shot. That's no, you're not sitting up for that one. You're not standing. That's lucky to say the least. And Aroma, he got a whiff of that one. He got the smell, and he was not happy of that. Did get the takedown, but this is a chance here for Portal Warriors. Going for A side, they get suppressed, but they don't get the kills. Skills that kills, shoot them down, and it's all up to Funky right now. It's 1v3, but HAU will do it again, and Disco never dies as Groovy will get that last kill. But how? How did Valiant Esports still win that, Chris Ray?
You know, it's all right if one team member goes down. You know, they were able to get the info from that. Once they knew the raise was coming Vents, they probably thought, oh, they're gonna come A. We should probably rotate, and that's what they did. They played it, and they were able to secure A site so fast and so smoothly.
Yeah, absolute swiftness to move on to that A site. Not only that, even though the suppress was there, it doesn't get rid of the guns, and guns kill people, not abilities in Project A, except you know that raise right there. That really
Except that raise.
Except that raise. But Aroma, he does get killed by the only exception, that is Blast. That's gonna be 2 right there. And it's a tight grip on reality as we get the fly on by. Kaiju though gonna go on down. Blast with 3, but he runs out of bullets. And Fugly again, he's the Punisher. But after everything is said and done, this is now HAU hungry for blood. Jaws are looking to sink into Portal Warriors. And this just might be a summary execution. Or by the noodle shop. It's time to get the ball to go because KL will be taking
Uh,
down that last killjoy. What in a round like that, like what can you even
Match
say?
point.
It's just so much confidence here for Valiant, and they're on
yes,
match point because of it.
definitely. Sometimes if you're pushing out of defense, as long as you get info, you get the kills, you did your job there. And that's what Blast did there.
Just Blast shows up to kill people, and he suddenly just that was just an absolute man Chad move from him because
Big Chad move.
big blast energy. Let's just go with that with some
Big
BB
Blast energy.
blast
Yes.
energy. And okay, there's the big blast from Prophecy as well. But that's the thing, there's so much compensation you do right now. They didn't even go for the wall right now. And what the hell, Prophecy? What did I just witness? Is he Nostradamus that he can predict that shot? Because Aroma tried and he
One
just
enemy
died.
remaining.
HAU with the advantage. Blast can get on the board. And the showstopper to stop the show of A-Side. Everything is left now to Akama. But Valiant Esports, their wins are sprouted. And this has just been their angelic grace. There's a rest even on this Sunday, we get the miracle of the masses, the resurrection. And everything is left to Portal Warriors and their Rays, but Valiant Esports, they've been valiant, they've been stellar, and they're looking so good at the tippy top. Akama though staining this round, but is it enough? He backs on the way. There's barely any time here, Chris. Can Akama even do anything by this point? Because
This is looking tough. They're rushing him right now. They want to kill him. They
one,
want to.
two,
Oh!
Defenders win.
But no. 4 is all Portal Warriors get. 3 is all Akama gets for the round. And this is a victory for Valiant Esports because they get the 4-0 instead. A 13-4
That is
victory
huge.
for HAU. Dominant performance. Teamwork makes the dream work. And really, we just saw what communication can do for the collegiate scene there, Chris.
Exactly. That was really well played, the way that they would hold their side and even initiate how to play against an enemy team without a stage wall. They really took that to their advantage. So props to Valiant Esports for playing such a great game this time.
Yeah, and HAU, they just keep it up, and we keep talking about it. They got better from season 1 to season 2, now to season 3. This is prime form, and we've seen how successful they can be in history in their regular seasons. And I wonder if this is gonna be them making that deep run that they look to deserve into the playoffs. But 4-0, that's a scoreline to remember. I'm not completely sure 100%, but doing the mental math right now, that should put them in. That should put them
Yeah,
in
definitely.
untouchable in a 16 bracket. The only way they can go even higher is 5-0 right now. And looking at the
Hmm.
contemporaries, yeah, this is a big one for HAU. And what do you think now when you have that confidence with a perfect record? How can you translate that to further success here, Chris?
I think they just got to keep doing what they're doing, analyzing the enemy team, reading what they could do, and playing around that. I feel like their communication as a team and their synergy is just really perfect right now. So just keep it up, and they might just 5-0 the next game. We'll see.
Ooh. Ooh, look at that. You know, Chris Ray, we don't get her predictions on our official media, but we're getting it here. Seems like she's a supporter of the HAU squadron as well and looking to get that perfection attained. But for the Warriors, it's still a trying time. Let's be honest. There are a few of these mistakes that shouldn't be happening in Division A. And for USC, it is a tough ask, but every single time they're getting these rounds done, it does seem like they're getting a bit better. But the problem is, it's still an official circuit. It's still a tournament that's going on. And if you're getting your experience mid fight in standings and rounds that absolutely matter, then the scoreline is not going to be pretty. So for me, for Portal Warriors, they just need to get even more grittiness, a bit more communication, right? Because that's
Yes,
the movement
true.
forward for this team.
And as you mentioned earlier, they do have a new roster, so this could be a reason why their plays are like this. But it only takes more games and more practice, and they can definitely make a comeback for this.
Yeah, and then all these here, Division A, they get to practice and they get to play rather against some of the best in the collegiate scene, and that experience might help them out in relegations if ever that's gonna be the case. But for USC, it's been tough. That fall from grace from season 2 to season 3, it's the reality, and they're trying to get away from that fact. But Valiant Esports, their ascension, their wings. Look at that logo and just tell me, right? It's bound to happen that they're gonna spread their wings, they're gonna fly on to the highest of the highest echelons, and they're in just such a good spot. But what a way to win here for Valiant Esports. What a victory to dominate there. And comparing to the matchups on Split so far, like what has impressed you from the games today in terms of this map? Because it seems like there is that attacking aggression that
Mhm.
allows these teams to go push further and further the reaches that are expected from them.
That's true. Usually, when I play on a map like Split, I always think, oh, this is like CT sided. You just hold and you win the game, right? But the way that Valorant Esports play this, they understood like what kind of gameplay or strategy USC was going for. So they rushed mid knowing there was no stage mid, and they took control so fast given that USC was constantly just giving up mid, trying to do retakes, but it just wasn't enough for that round.
Yeah, the smoke is clearing here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting the group stage closer and closer to the very end. But I do want to say very quickly that if you want to bring esports to your school, and if you want a chance to join these kind of things too, the AcadArena Alliance program is here for you. Alliance member clubs get access to our exclusive tournaments, mentorship, event support, and of course the Globe Esports Merit Scholarship. Learn how to join the Alliance today at acadarena.com/alliance and get the chance to participate in AcadArena's major tournaments, win bragging rights, and exciting prizes from our partner brands. Visit app at acadarena.com, go through the registration process, and you're good to go. But anyway, guys and gals, it's time for us to take a break because we still have one more match to go, and that has to be a heavyweight matchup. It's FIT versus USD next. Don't go away. I'm Dax here with Chris Ray, and we'll be right back in just a bit for more of UAC.
Manong Fishball ang tawag sa kanya. Everyday siya kung dumating. Kaya parang institusyon na siya dito sa area namin.